Hello and welcome to this video. And yes, by the title you saw Yorkshire Wildlife Park, and that is the case, it is that, but I filmed a lot of clips of animals but didn't actually film a lot of, talking parts, so those are going to be coming from my bed. So yes, we went to the Yorkshire Wildlife Park on a Saturday in July, basically in between heat waves, and that worked well for us. So it was myself, my husband and my almost 2.5-year-old, and it was her sort of first zoo trip. We've never been to the Yorkshire Wildlife Park before, so we didn't really know what to expect, animals obviously in a zoo, but we didn't know the layout, we didn't know any of this kind of stuff. So if you are going to the Yorkshire Wildlife Park, when you come through the gates, the first thing you see is Pangea, which is basically their walkthrough with dinosaurs. We did start there and thought it was going to be a hit with our child because she was really into dinosaurs at that point, but the animatronics are very large, they do move and they do grunt, so she got a bit scared. So now when we talk about dinosaurs, she says that dinosaurs are scary and that Mummy carried her, but she was very brave, which is true because, yes, I had to carry her through it and she was like snuggled into my shoulder at points, but by the time we got to the end she was sort of looking at them and that kind of stuff, but she was not going to walk on her own because she was pretty scared of it. So just bear that in mind. And then from there we headed to a park I can't remember the name of, that was supposed to have hyenas and some monkeys, and we didn't see anything. But then you head over a bridge, and we, after the bridge, took a right, which is supposed to be tigers, and again, we couldn't see anything. So we were getting a little bit worried at that point of, oh dear, have we spent 50 quid, because me and Pete had to pay for our tickets, and an adult ticket was about £25 for the day that we went. What have we done? There are no animals, what are we going to do? But as you'll see from the next montage, we did see some animals and we were very happy about it. So what I'll do is I will show you that. The clips aren't in order of the animals that we saw, that's not the way around we saw it, so don't go off my video as if I take their route this is what I'll see in that order, because not the case at all, but it does start with us crossing the bridge. So I'll show you that and then I'll come back to you in a moment. So we're with the giant otters, they're currently swimming, but they can be 1.45 metres to 1.80 metres long. So if I laid down, an otter would be taller than me. I don't get how that's a thing, it's an otter. It can also be up to 32 kilograms and it eats 4 kilograms of fish a day. How am I shorter than an otter? So we came down a path that was signpost. And She said it must be pigs. Poultry pigs. So there you see, we saw lots of different animals, and it was a lot of fun, and we managed to get a lot done with it. Our favourite animal, though, I didn't include in that because I have quite a lot of clips of them, so I thought I'd do their own special thing, and that was the polar bears. So they have like a 10 hectare, I don't know the difference. They have a very large plot of land for their polar bears. Obviously no snow, but they said there were like signs about it all over the place explaining why. Apparently where they are in Canada, they don't have snow for a lot of the year anyway, and that they only have the snow when they're like hunting, so it wasn't a completely habitat change to them. So yeah, we like the polar bears a lot, and we saw 6 polar bears. I don't know how many they have at the Yorkshire Wildlife Park, but we saw 6, and they were playing and things like that. So here is my little ode to the polar bears at Yorkshire Wildlife Park. So there you have it. That was our short day out to the Yorkshire Wildlife Park. We had a great time, and we will be going again. It obviously is an expensive day out, and children over 3 are paid for, and I'm pretty sure that the price of their ticket is close to an adult price. So if you're a family of 4, you are looking at like £100 for a day out at the zoo, which is a lot of money. I think they do a pass, and we were looking at that briefly. I mean, we have no intention of it. So if you could go multiple times a year, then that might be more cost effective. But as I say, we did have a really good day. It was really fun watching Eloise see all the different animals since we've come home. She's mentioned the polar bears, she's mentioned the giraffe, she's mentioned the dinosaurs, and the lions. I don't think I got any clips of the lions, but we were there for a little while she basically roared at them, because my child likes to roar like a lion, doing this, so she does it. So yeah, it's definitely had an impact on her. She's spoken about it a lot since we've come home. And when I'm filming this, it's been at least 2 weeks since we've been, and she's still mentioning the animals from it. So say it's obviously had an impact on her. In terms of zoos, because I mean, sometimes I do wonder about zoos. I don't know how I feel about them. I really like seeing the animals, so I do go to them. And I think in that respect they're a good thing, but sometimes feel they don't have enough space. I didn't feel that at all with the Yorkshire Wildlife Park. Every animal seemed to have a large enclosure, so much so that sometimes you couldn't see the animals because their enclosures were so big. So they were just somewhere where we couldn't see them, which, as me and Pete were saying, particularly at the beginning part where we didn't see any animals, it was like, well, in one respect it's really good that we can't see them because it means that they are able to, they've got enough space that they're able to hide and things like that. But as a paying customer, it's also not great that we can't see the animals. But yeah, so it seems very big, very spacious. They're obviously still improving and making things so their penguin pool is due to open soon, I think. It was still under construction when we went. And I think I've also seen that they've put in planning permission for, I don't know whether it's another herbivore or carnivore enclosure space. But when I read the comments, people are hoping for elephants or pandas. I don't see how either really fit, but it would be good if they got some elephants though, because it's an animal that we would like to show Eloise, and so far we haven't managed that. Well worth going. We enjoyed it a lot, and will be one that we'll add to our list of places to go occasionally, because as I said, the ticket price is high. Can't comment on the food. We took a picnic and just found tables to sit at and things like that, but there are benches everywhere, and plenty of spaces to do that. We originally went under the big tent picnic area, but it was so windy under there that we moved, and as soon as we moved there was no wind, so I don't know whether that's just a corridor of breeze. So yeah, just bear that in mind. But yeah, taking a picnic was definitely worth it for that day. So yeah, any questions about it, put it in the box below. But I hope you've enjoyed this relatively short video about the Yorkshire Wildlife Park. If you have, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't. And though there's going to be more days out and things, it's what we're hoping to do more of. So let's say, and I will see you in the next one.